this video, I will be reviewing and discussing the materials that I used to create this portrait of a white lab. By the end of this video, you will know all about Lux Archival sanded paper, which pencils work best on this unique surface, and how to get started on your own pet portrait. When you're drawing a pet, it's really important that you capture its likeness. Its likeness is another way for saying you want to draw this pet so it looks just like the pet that you're drawing. Pets are part of our homes, part of our families, and capturing their unique character and their exact facial structure is really important. Much more important than when you're drawing an anonymous animal in wildlife. It is for this reason that I want you to start off with a really structured line drawing. Once you have a really structured line drawing and you've spent a lot of time measuring all of the skeletal structure and the details of this pet, then you can lay in some quick color. Here I'm using Lux Archival sanded paper, and I am laying in a base layer with PanPastels. If you would like to learn more about my PanPastel process, make sure you check out that video in the card and in the notes below. If you caught my video where I drew the meerkat on pastel mat, this sanded paper actually holds the pencils very differently than that surface. The oil-based colored pencils are very loose on this textured paper and they move around quite a bit. I didn't really want this to happen, so I sprayed my entire drawing with a couple coats of textured fixative, and then I jumped straight to my wax-based colored pencils and blended them with Gamsol, or an odorless mineral spirits. I really liked this effect on the sanded paper because it created this really even background, and I still have that texture or tooth of the paper that I can lay the hairs of the dog directly over the top of the background. As I am getting used to drawing this particular fur, I focus in on a small area like the ear, and I make sure I know what colors I want to use and the kind of mark that I want to make. While I'm working on this ear, I've discovered that my luminance colored pencils are working best for the textures that I want to make on this surface. And I've also selected several yellows, blues, purples, and really light value neutrals that are making a really good color combination for this fur. Once you have your colors and the texture figured out, you can begin applying the little hairs everywhere throughout the drawing. I typically work from left to right so that I am not smearing anything with my hand that's already been finished. And I'm doing this with tons and tons of little tiny strokes. Now, if you choose to use oil-based colored pencils on sanded paper, they're going to be a lot looser, and you can actually move them around a little bit with powder blender if you want to. I use the Derwent Light Fast pencils a little bit here and there if I wanted to change the base color. So I would lay a little bit down, I'd blend it with just my finger or a sponge, and then I would lay the wax-based pencils on top of it. That's another strategy that you can use if you would like to have some softness to the fur and then lay in opaque hairs over the top. Okay, I'm now zooming in and zeroing in on the eyes, and I'm using a lot of different colors for the eyes, browns, oranges, blues, to create a lot of interest and depth so that the eyes become the focal point of the drawing. I'm also laying in lots of little hairs, and I'm using darker pencils to fill in the dark hairs or the dark skin underneath first, and then I'm building up the mid values and the brighter colors next. And then finally, I'm laying in the little tiny light hairs over the top. Here I've got a yellow, and the sanded paper holds the colored pencil right on the surface so that I am able to lay those hairs on top and that they appear as if they are laying over the darker hairs. If you're working on pet portraits or wildlife, finding a piece of paper that allows you to lay hairs over the top of color and texture that has already been laid down is really important. The Lux Archival sanded paper is great for laying down opaque whites or lighter values on top of darker values. Pastel mat is also a great paper for this technique where you can lay the light values directly on top of the dark values. Keep in mind that this technique doesn't work as well on a hot press watercolor paper or another traditional white cotton paper because you are going to see transparent layers through it. There isn't enough tooth on these papers to hold the light value on top of the darker values. So if you decide to do a pet portrait on one of these white cotton papers, you're going to need to reserve your lightest values. When it comes to laying in whiskers or longer white hairs, grab a sharp white pencil and lay these hairs down in one quick, seamless stroke. Whether you are drawing a pet or you are commissioning an artist to draw a pet for you, you want to make sure that you start with a really high quality photograph first. The photograph that I am using has a clear and direct light source. The sunlight is coming in through a window on the right side. So the right side of the face has really good light and it's creating shadows on the left side of the face. Having light and shadows allows you to play around with more color and it allows you to render the volume of the head much more accurately. In your photo reference, you also want to make sure that you have a lot of clarity. You want a really high resolution photograph that shows the individual hairs when you zoom in so that you can see which direction the hairs are moving in and you know which direction to lay your strokes and pencil marks. If you are working on a pet portrait with a similar composition to this one, with the pet looking directly at the camera, you're going to be focusing most of your time and attention on the eyes and the nose. When you move into areas like the fur on the chest, you can loosen up a little bit and you don't have to be so specific with the individual hairs and the details. As I was working on this portrait and I got into the details in the muzzle area, I realized that the muzzle was just a little bit too low. Now, I could have left that as it was, but it was really important for me to get this dog to look just like the dog I was drawing. So I moved the muzzle up a little bit. Now, on a traditional white cotton paper, you would see everything that had come before, and it would be very obvious that you had moved your drawing. But because the sanded paper's texture is so rough and so aggressive, you can actually lay opaque whites right over the top of an area in your drawing that you don't want anymore, like this lower jaw, and you can transform your drawing like you would an oil painting. And that is one of the things that I really like about Lux Archival paper. It really helps you simulate the things that are awesome about painting while still using colored pencils. As you watch me finish up this portrait of the white lab, I'm going to briefly summarize the products and the process that I used. So I started on that piece of bright white Lux Archival sanded paper and I took the time to lay out a really structured line drawing, making sure that I captured my pet's personality and facial structure really well. Then I laid in my very quick color impressions and value relationships with PanPastel and Soft Tool sponges. This combination of products lets me get an idea for what my final drawing is going to look like really quickly. After the PanPastel base, I started playing around with different colored pencils, and for the particular techniques that I was using on this piece, I liked my waxy luminance colored pencils best. I used a variety of different colors, and I laid the fur down stroke by stroke. If you wanted to try this technique with your oil-based colored pencils, I would recommend having a can of textured fixative that you can use to secure the layers as you build them up. I found that my colored pencils that were oil-based were really slippery on the surface, and I wasn't able to keep a really crisp, clean mark that I wanted for the fur. Additionally, if you wanted to add in some other materials to this pet portrait process, you could incorporate odorless mineral spirits or solvents, and you could incorporate watercolor pencils. Both of these are compatible with Lux Archival sanded paper, and I have some videos that I will link in the notes below that shows some different techniques and strategies that you can use on this paper. Throughout this video, you learned all about how I created this drawing of a white lab on Lux Archival sanded paper. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking the time to watch this video. I can't wait to connect with you again soon. See you next time.